Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome back to our channel. After a comprehensive overview about the initial 30 types of angels created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are now moving towards the 70,000 angels of daily descent and ascent. The Quran opens many windows into the unseen world where angels are not distant abstractions but living forces constantly moving between heaven and earth. In Surah As-Sajdah, verse 5, Allah says, He directs the command from the heaven to the earth, then it will ascend to Him in a day, the measure of which is 1,000 years of your reckoning. This verse, according to classical tafsir, unveils a profound cosmic rhythm. The divine decrees, meaning al-Maʿmūr, are continuously dispatched from the heavenly realm to the earthly domain, carried by angels who fulfill their missions and then return upward. Commentators like Hazrat Ibn Kathir, Hazrat al-Tabari, and Hazrat al-Qurtubi mention that these decrees are delivered by hosts of angels. And in several narrations from early scholars, it is said that 70,000 angels descend daily, bearing out the affairs of creation, then ascend again after completing their tasks. These are the beings of unfathomable might, created from the most luminous light of Nur Muhammadi, meaning the divine light of Prophet Muhammad. This teaching shows us that the world is not left to random chance, nor are human lives wandering without direction. Every breath, every heartbeat, every provision, every test of life, down to the smallest unfolding of destiny, is carried on the wings of angels as part of a perfectly orchestrated flow of divine command. The 70,000 angels represent the ceaseless traffic of mercy, decree, and management between heaven and earth. They descend with sustenance, healing, trials, relief, inspirations, protections, and subtle signs. They ascend bearing back the records of deeds, the echoes of prayers, and the hidden sighs of hearts. Tasawwufi masters saw in this verse the heartbeat of the cosmos. Creation itself breathes in cycles of descent, meaning tanazul, and ascent, meaning suud. Just as the human breath is an inhalation and exhalation, so too the universe breathes with the descent of angels, bearing commands, and their ascent bearing reports. This is why remembrance with the breath, meaning dhikr al-nafas, is emphasized in the path of tasawwuf. When man synchronizes his inhaling and exhaling with the remembrance of Allah, he aligns himself with the cosmic rhythm of angels who descend and ascend every moment. The number 70,000 itself, while immense, is symbolic of infinity in Islamic tradition. It indicates not a strict limit, but an overwhelming multitude. Every day, new angels descend who have never descended before, and once they ascend, they will never return again. Thus, the traffic of angels is endless, never repeating, always renewing. This illustrates the boundless freshness of divine decree. Each day, each moment, Allah unfolds realities that never existed before, and angels are the carriers of this ceaseless creativity. On a deeper level, scholars explain that these angels are also the agents who respond to human deeds. When a believer raises his hands in dua, angels carry the supplication upward. When charity is given, angels bear the fragrance of that act to the heavens. When a sin is committed, angels either write it or veil it, depending on Allah's mercy. Thus, the descending and ascending of angels is not abstract. It is intimately tied to the daily life of every human. The same angels who silently travel between heaven and earth carrying decrees will stand in witness on the day of Qiyamah to all that they conveyed, all that they recorded, and all that they carried upward from humanity. For the seeker on the tariqat and tasawwufi path, the knowledge of these 70,000 angels serves as a call to awareness. Just as the angels are constantly engaged in descent and ascent, so too must the human soul descend into the body with intention and ascend with the spirit in remembrance. If man wastes his breaths in heedlessness, he disconnects from this angelic rhythm. But if his breaths are filled with dhikr, his soul ascends with the angels daily, becoming part of that ceaseless circulation between the heavens and the earth. Thus, the doctrine of the 70,000 angels is not a matter of numbers alone, it is a vision of existence as a living cycle of descent and return. The angels remind us that nothing is static, that every moment is alive with new decrees, new mercies, new openings and new closings. Their daily journey is an invitation for man to rise above stagnation, to breathe with awareness, and to live as a conscious participant in the grand circulation of divine command. Before going further, a quick update. All our videos are available in both English and Urdu languages on our YouTube channel. You can find them by navigating to our playlists, where all our videos are available for your convenience. Now let's continue. Quranic mentions. In Surah As-Sajdah, verse 5, He regulates the command from the heaven to the earth, then it ascends to Him in a day, the measure of which is 1,000 years of your reckoning. Tafsir of Hazrat Ibn Kathir, Hazrat Qurtubi, Hazrat Tabari state that this verse describes angels descending with decrees of Allah and then ascending back to Him after fulfilling their duties. Many scholars relate here the report of 70,000 angels descending and ascending daily. In Surah al-Ma'arij verse 4, the angels and the Spirit ascend to Him in a day, the measure of which is 50,000 years. This describes the long day of ascension, but also establishes that angels and the Spirit have constant movement between the heavens and Allah's command. In Surah Kaf verses 17 and 18, when the two receivers receive, seated on the right and on the left. Not a word does he utter, except that with him is an observer ready to record. These angels record deeds and carry them upward in daily ascents. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 48, And we have sent down the book to you in truth, confirming what came before it and as a guardian over it. So judge between them by what Allah has revealed. Tafsir connects the descending of revelation and decrees with angelic agency. In Surah Al-Ra'd verse 11, For each person there are angels in succession before and behind him, guarding him by the command of Allah. These angels are part of the descending and ascending cycle, fulfilling Allah's orders of protection, decree and report. In our previous videos, we also explored the verse on how Allah created every living thing from water, the creation of the waters above the dome and below the flat earth, the firmament dome above the flat earth, actual shape of the earth according to the Quran and Islamic cosmology, primordial waters of the heavens, the kursi meaning the footstool of Allah, the arsh meaning the throne of Allah, Law al-Mahfuz meaning the sacred tablet, the second creation of Allah, al-Kalam, why Allah created the universe, the first creation of Allah, the 7 portals and dimensions of the universe, and discussed where Allah was before He created the universe. If you haven't watched them yet, please do. Now, let's continue. Hadith Mentios, the Prophet said, reported by Al-Tabarani in Al-Mujam al-Kabir, also in Shu'ab al-Iman of Al-Bihaqi. Every day and night 70,000 angels descend upon the Kaaba. When they leave, they never return. The next day another group of angels comes who never return until the day of resurrection. This shows the pattern of angelic descent in cycles, linked by many scholars to Quran Surah 32 verse 5. In Sahih al-Bukhari 555 and Sahih Muslim 632. The Prophet said, The angels take turns among you by night and by day, and they all assemble at the Fajr and Asr prayers. Then those who spent the night among you ascend, and their Lord asks them, though He knows best, How did you leave my servants? They say, We left them while they were praying, and we came to them while they were praying. A direct proof that angels descend and ascend daily with reports of human deeds, echoing the flow of divine command. In Sahih Muslim 2565 and Sunan Abu Dawood 4916, the Prophet said, Deeds are presented every Monday and Thursday, and Allah forgives every Muslim except the one who has enmity with his brother. Angels ascend carrying records of deeds at appointed times. In Sahih al-Bukhari 3207 and Sahih Muslim 164, on Isra and Miraj the Prophet said, "Then I was shown al-Bayt al-Maʿmūr, the frequented house. I asked Jibril about it and he said, 'This is al-Bayt al-Maʿmūr, where 70,000 angels pray every day. When they leave, they never return to it again, but another group of angels comes after them.' Proof that 70,000 angels cycle daily, confirming the Quranic vision of ceaseless descent and ascent. The Prophet said, 'Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi after every prayer, nothing prevents him from entering paradise except death, and Allah will appoint for him 70,000 angels who will continue to pray for him until the day of resurrection.' Though slightly different in role, it reinforces the special grouping of 70,000 angels. Role with prophets, with Prophet Adam. When Allah created Adam, He announced His plan to the angels. Many angels were commanded to descend to earth with decrees that would govern Prophet Adam's life and the succession of mankind. These carrying angels were part of the divine system, bringing down sustenance, trials and commands. Tasawwufi reflections add, every breath of Prophet Adam as the first prophet was carried upwards by angels, showing man's unique capacity to either reflect divine remembrance or fall into heedlessness, a reality that angels questioned. With Prophet Nuh, during the flood, the Quran says in Surah 54 verse 11, "So we opened the gates of the heaven with water pouring forth." Scholars of Tafsir note that angels were descending and ascending with decrees in those days too, commands of punishment for disbelievers, protection for Prophet Nuh and the believers in the ark. Angels carried these orders between heaven and earth, fulfilling Allah's decree of salvation and destruction. With Prophet Ibrahim, angels descended with glad tidings of a son, Prophet Ishaq, and also with the decree of destruction for the people of Prophet Lut. Here we see the same system of descent. Decrees come down by angelic hosts, they fulfill them, then ascend back with a report. In Tasawwufi Tafsir, this is tied to Quran Surah 32 verse 5. The angels carrying divine commands into earthly realities, whether mercy as of birth of a child or punishment as of destruction of a people. With Prophet Musa, the Quran mentions angels descending with revelation on Mount Tur. Angels also descended with decrees of punishment against Pharaoh and protection for Bani Israel. These are part of the same angelic movement of commands. The decrees of Allah were brought down by angels, executed in history, and then recorded upward again. With Prophet Isa, angels descended to Sayyida Maryam with the word from Allah announcing his miraculous birth. They ascended carrying the report of her patience and devotion. Angels also strengthened Isa during his mission with the Holy Spirit called Ruh al-Qudus. These events tie directly into the Quran's vision of commands descending and ascending daily. With Prophet Muhammad, the clearest connection is with him. The revelation of Quran itself is the supreme example of angels descending with divine command. The hadith of angels at Fajr and Asr shows that the Prophet explained how angels carry up reports to Allah. On Laylat al-Qadr, the angels and the Spirit descend therein by permission of their Lord with every decree. As stated in Surah 97 verse 4, the greatest night of descent and ascent. On his Miraj, meaning ascension, he saw Bayt al-Maʿmūr, where 70,000 angels enter daily. Symbolism in Tasawwuf. In Tasawwufi thought, angels are not only external beings of light, but also mirrors of inner realities. The 70,000 angels who descend and ascend daily are taken to symbolize the endless flow of breaths, states, and moments in human life. Every breath is an angel, as Hazrat Jalaluddin Rumi and other Tasawwufi scholars say that every breath we take is like an angel descending with a divine trust, and when it leaves, it ascends bearing the state of our heart. Was it filled with dhikr meaning remembrance or ghafla meaning heedlessness? Just as the 70,000 angels never return to Bayt al-Maʿmūr, so too every breath that leaves us never returns. It is written forever in our record. Thus the angels of descent and ascent represent the spiritual economy of time, a ceaseless traffic of divine mercy and human response. In Tasawwufi orders meaning Turuk or Tariqat, the Kamil Murshid meaning perfect spiritual guide teaches the seeker how to align his breath and heart with this angelic traffic. The symbolism unfolds as 1. Breath meaning nafas as a messenger. In Tariqat, the disciple learns zikr with every breath. The Murshid explains that angels are constantly present. If your breath is heedless, it ascends as blame. If it carries Allah's name, it ascends as light. Some Tasawwufi manuals describe each inhalation as a descent of mercy and each exhalation as an ascent of testimony. 2. 70,000 angels as infinite moments. The number 70,000 is symbolic of endlessness. A seeker should never assume he has enough remembrance. Every moment is a new angel, a new trust. The Murshid reminds, guard every breath as if it were your last, for it is your angel's final testimony. 3. Why man can surpass angels. Angels never disobey Allah, but they have no struggle. Man, through his nafs, meaning ego, has the capacity for sin. Yet if he masters his ego with zikr and guidance, he rises higher than angels. 8 is why the angels once questioned Allah about creating Prophet Adam. Allah replied by teaching Adam the names, knowledge and capacity for divine reflection. In Tariqat, this means if the seeker aligns his nafs with dhikr, every breath surpasses the worship of angels, because it carries the fragrance of struggle and victory over the ego. 4. Continuous dhikr displays continuous angelic company. A Tasawwufi saying, the heart of the Arif, meaning Gnostic, is Bayt al-Maʿmūr. Every breath, 70,000 angels enter and never return. This means the seeker's heart, once alive with zikr, becomes a sanctuary where angelic presences flow endlessly. 5. Higher symbolism. Descent meaning tanazul symbolizes divine mercy, inspiration and guidance coming down into the heart. Ascent meaning uruj symbolizes the offering of deeds, prayers and intentions back to Allah. 70,000 angels symbolize that this cycle is infinite, without repetition, always fresh. The Murshid teaches the disciple that to witness this reality one must cultivate Siddiq meaning truthfulness in every breath, Muraqabah meaning awareness of Allah's gaze at all times, Sobat meaning companionship with a living guide who awakens the heart. Tasawwufi commentaries. Hazrat Imam al-Ghazali in Ihya Ulum ad-Din Ghazali emphasizes the breath and dhikr. The most precious of man's possessions are his breaths. Each breath is a priceless jewel. If wasted in heedlessness, it is lost beyond measure. If filled with remembrance, it ascends as light beyond the angels. Imam Ghazali links this to Quran Surah 32 verse 5. The command descends and deeds ascend. Between the descent and ascent is the measure of man's sincerity. He also stresses Murshid-guided dhikr. The guide teaches the seeker how to guard the breath, for the breath is the bridge between man and his eternal fate. Hazrat Ibn Arabi, the Sheikh Al-Akbar, gives one of the deepest mystical explanations. In Futuhat al-Makkiyah, the Meccan revelations, he says, the angels of descent are the breaths that come into man, bearing divine decree. The angels of ascent are the breaths that depart, carrying the state of his heart. For Hazrat Ibn Arabi, the 70,000 angels are infinite theophanies. Every instant Allah reveals Himself in a new form, and angels are the carriers of this tajalli, meaning divine manifestation. Never does one angel return twice to Bayt al-Maʿmūr, for never does the divine self-disclosure repeat. He also explains that angels with the prophets were the same angels of descent and ascent, manifesting decrees through revelation and miracles, then ascending with the people's response. Hazrat Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, the founder of the Qadiriyya Tariqa, frequently spoke of angels' breath and the subtle realities of human states. He taught that every inhalation and exhalation of a believer is accompanied by angels. Angels descend with mercy and light, ascend with the testimony of deeds. In his Al-Fath Ar-Rabbani he writes, "The angels of descent enter every heart that is alive with the name of Allah. They descend as light and mercy and ascend carrying the fragrance of obedience. A heart empty of dhikr receives only shadows, not angels." Sheikh Jilani emphasized that a disciple under a Kamil Murshid can consciously participate in this angelic flow. By aligning the heart with dhikr and intention, the disciple becomes a station of descent and ascent, where angels flow as in Bayt al-Maʿmūr. He explained that the angels surrounding the prophets were manifestations of this same system, carrying decrees, revelation, and mercy. For example, during the Miraj of the Prophet Muhammad, Sheikh Jilani notes, "The 70,000 angels of Bayt al-Maʿmūr are the cosmic reflection of the same angelic currents that guided all prophets." Hazrat Shams Tabriz. Hazrat Shams Tabriz, the spiritual guide of Maulana Rumi, brought a deeply experiential understanding of these angels. He often taught that angels are not only external beings but also projections of divine light within the seeker. He said, "When the heart remembers Allah without pause, the angels of descent and ascent enter it as rivers of light. The seeker then witnesses their infinite procession as if the heavens themselves move in his chest." Hazrat Shams emphasized that each breath of the devoted disciple is like a new angel descending, carrying mercy and divine decree into the heart. He often used poetic imagery. "Do you not see how your every breath becomes a caravan of angels? The body is the earth, the heart is the sky, your dhikr is the bridge, and the angels walk it endlessly." Hazrat Shams taught that the same angelic flow that attended the Prophet, bringing revelation, guidance, and divine decree, exists in every sincere seeker who treads the path of dhikr. The angels of descent and ascent, he said, are stationed at the interface between the soul and the cosmos, making the human being a microcosm of Bayt al-Maʿmūr. He stressed the importance of watchfulness over one's breaths and moments, warning every neglected breath that leaves without remembrance is a lost angel. Guard your nafas breath, or the angels will testify against you in silence. Hazrat Shams tied this to the inner struggle. Controlling the nafs aligns one with angelic currents. Succumbing to heedlessness mirrors the disobedience that separates man from these angels. Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. Maulana Rumi, the murid of Hazrat Shams Tabriz, constantly links the angels of descent, ascent to the breath and man's struggle with the nafs. Every breath of man is a messenger that goes to the heavens. Beware lest it goes without remembrance of Allah, for it will bear witness against you on the day of judgment. On the angels of Bayt al-Maʿmūr, Maulana Rumi interprets the 70,000 angels entering daily as the unceasing newness of creation. Just as no angel repeats its prayer there, no breath of man is ever repeated. Each moment a new caravan of angels, each breath a new birth of man's soul. Maulana Rumi also stresses the superiority of man when he conquers his nafs. If you control your ego, you are higher than angels. If you do not, you are lower than beasts. Angels are fire of dhikr, man is clay. But when clay burns with dhikr, it shines brighter than fire. Possibility of seeing them in real life. Prophets, by Allah's permission, saw angels. in their true or symbolic forms. Prophet Muhammad saw Angel Jibril in his true form twice, with 600 wings filling the horizon. Angels descended visibly to Prophets Ibrahim and Lut. Sayyida Maryam saw the angel in human form. This establishes that angels can manifest in human forms or light forms when Allah wills. In Tasawwufi accounts, great saints like Hazrat Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani or Hazrat Bayazid al-Bistami reported seeing angels as luminous beings. These visions are gifts, not guarantees. A murshid teaches, angels are always present, but only the purified heart perceives them. So, in real life, one may witness them if Allah unveils that layer of perception, usually as light, a luminous presence, or a human-like figure of serenity. Seeing them in dreams, the Prophet said, the good dream is from Allah. Many prophets saw angels in dreams with messages. Angels often appear in dreams to the seekers of the path, sometimes announcing good news, sometimes warning, sometimes teaching dhikr. In dream symbolism, angels of descent and ascent may appear, as white-robed figures moving upward and downward, as stairs, ladders or caravans, since Quran Surah 70 verse 4 calls them Ma'arish, the stairways. As birds or lights carrying scrolls, representing deeds ascending. Thus, in dreams, angels often translate their cosmic function into imagery the heart can grasp. Seeing them in kashaf, meaning unveiling and spiritual vision. Kashaf is spiritual unveiling, when Allah lifts the veils of perception and the heart sees realities not visible to the physical eye. Tasawwufi masters agree it is possible to see these angels in kashaf. Hazrat Ibn Arabi explains that the angels of descent and ascent may appear as currents of light, spiraling ladders, or breath-like flows rising and falling. Maulana Rumi says in Mathnawi, the saints see caravans of angels entering and leaving their hearts like tides of an unseen ocean. A murshid teaches the disciple to guard the breath until he perceives its inner light. At higher stages, the disciple may witness the breath as an angel, each inhalation a descent of mercy, each exhalation an ascent of testimony, signs and conditions for such vision. Purity of heart, meaning Qalb Salim, free from arrogance, pride, malice, continuous dhikr, especially breath-linked zikr, as the Quran states us to do zikr standing, sitting, while lying, and keep it continuous throughout day and night. Sobat with a murshid as guidance protects from self-deception. Sincere dua, asking Allah for a glimpse of unseen mercy. Avoiding sin, as sins veil the heart sight. Cautions from Tasawwufi masters. Not every light or form is an angel. Shaitan can also whisper or appear. Hence, recognition must be under murshid guidance. Sheikh Jilani warned, do not trust every vision. Measure it against the Sharia. An angel never commands you against Allah's law. Kashaf is not the goal. Closeness to Allah is. Angels are companions, but the seeker aims at Allah's pleasure, not visions. Role in the grave. In the grave, the angels of descent and ascent continue their cosmic function, now interacting with the soul of the deceased. Tasawwufi masters explain that the soul carries the residue of its breaths, the dhikr and state cultivated in life, and the angels bear witness to this. Maulana Rumi likens the soul to a vessel. Every breath of remembrance is a lamp. When the soul enters the grave, the angels illuminate it or leave it in darkness. Hazrat Ibn Arabi describes these angels as intermediaries. They descend to the grave carrying mercy, comfort, and protection. They ascend to report the state of the soul to higher angels at the throne. Functionally, they protect the grave from unseen harms and mediate between the living remembrance and the soul state. The angels witnessing in the grave is closely tied to the Quranic concept of Kitab al-Amal, the record of deeds linking every inhalation and exhalation during life to eternal testimony. Role in Barzakh. In Barzakh, the stage between death and resurrection, the 70,000 angels manage the soul's journey, ensuring balance between its nafs, meaning ego, and ruh, meaning spirit. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani notes, the angels carry the subtle light of the soul, ensuring that its spiritual state aligns with the decrees of Allah. The heart's dhikr in life determines the ease of its transit. They also function as guardians and witnesses. To the righteous, they illuminate barzakh, allowing the soul to experience peace and angelic companionship. To the heedless, the angels reflect the soul's neglected breaths, showing darkness and constriction, symbolizing the spiritual consequences of wasted life. Hazrat Ibn Arabi emphasizes that the angels of barzakh are the same cosmic entities of descent and ascent. They do not change form, but their interaction is contextual to the soul's state. Role on Qiyamah. On Qiyamah, the angels assume their highest cosmic function, the reporting, balancing, and presentation of human deeds. On the day of Qiyamah, this hidden traffic will be unveiled. The Quran says in 78 verse 38, on that day the Spirit and the angels will stand in rows. None will speak except the one to whom the most merciful grants permission. According to Tasawwufi and Tafsir interpretations, they ascend with the testimony of every breath and moment of dhikr and negligence. Hazrat Shams Tabriz explains, the angels form streams of light connecting each soul's deeds to the throne, making the invisible visible. For the righteous, their breaths, sustained in dhikr, manifest as illumination that elevates their station before Allah. For the heedless, the unguarded breaths appear as dark clouds, demonstrating the consequences of spiritual neglect. Functionally, they are observers, witnesses, and carriers of mercy and justice, linking the temporal life of man with the eternal decree of Allah. Protection and awareness. Through a Kamil Murshid, the 70,000 angels, as described in Quran, move between the heavens and the earth, carrying divine decrees and witnessing human actions. They are deeply connected to each human breath, ensuring balance between the nafs, meaning ego, and ruh, meaning spirit. Protection and awareness mean aligning oneself with their mercy, illumination, and witness, rather than incurring neglect or spiritual blindness. Masters emphasize that Murshid guidance is essential to align human action with angelic presence. Correct dhikr and breath practices, where the Murshid teaches specific dhikr for every breath, turning it into a vehicle of light. This is the Nafas al-Rahma, breath of mercy, which allows humans to surpass ordinary angelic witness. Protection from shaitan and neglect, where the Murshid warns against the subtle interventions of shaitan, which try to obscure the soul's light, making angels' presence unnoticed or ineffective. Spiritual calibration. Through consistent guidance, the Murshid ensures the disciple's heart is receptive to angelic flow, allowing the disciple to feel their descent and ascent in real time. A Murshid awakens the seeker to the reality that every breath is a form shaped by zikr. By teaching breath zikr, the Murshid transforms the human into a being of continuous remembrance, surpassing angels. A Kamil Murshid, meaning a perfect spiritual guide, is considered in Tasawwuf the inheritor of the Prophet, guiding seekers on the path from clay, meaning nafs, to light, meaning ruh. The Kamil Murshid helps awaken this nafas al-Rahman, meaning breath of the All-Merciful, within the disciple. Also as stated in Surah Kaf, verse 17, whoever Allah guides is truly guided, but whoever He leaves to stray, you will never find for them a Murshid, meaning a spiritual guide. Angels are always in dhikr, but their dhikr is fixed and limited to the forms Allah gave them. Man, however, through guidance of a Murshid, can transform his every breath into dhikr, making his remembrance continuous, like angels, and even higher because it comes through free will. In Tariqat, the Murshid teaches Habs al-Nafas, meaning watching the breath, and Zikr Khafi, meaning silent dhikr. Every inhalation and every exhalation affirms Allah and He alone. This makes the seeker live in the constant rhythm of divine presence. Through Quran, Surah Al-Mulk reciting every night protects the soul from unseen harm and aligns angels with mercy. Surah Al-Insan reflects the soul's creation from water and guidance. Dhikr here synchronizes human breath with angelic currents. Surah Al-Falaq and An-Nas are protection from external evil, ensuring angelic presence remains unblocked. Through dua for angelic witness, Allahumma ja'alna min alladhina yusabihunaka bi kulli nafasim wa yaj'alul malaikata nazila alina bi rahmatika, meaning, O Allah, make us among those who glorify you with every breath and send down angels upon us in your mercy. Dua for awareness of descent and ascent. Rabbi Arif qalbi li nurika wa arifni bi malaikatika al-nazila wa al-saira, meaning, my Lord, make my heart aware of your light and show me the angels descending and ascending. Repetition of these duas with heartful concentration enhances spiritual receptivity and protection. Practical acts for protection. Breath awareness dhikr. Every inhalation, Allah. Every exhalation, Al-Haq. Regular salah nawafil. Align body, soul and breath rhythm with angelic movement. Charitable acts like continuous charity generates angels of assistance and increases mercy and descent. Guarding the tongue, speaking truth, avoiding lies, gossip or harmful speech keeps angelic channels pure. Acts to avoid arrogance, pride and self-conceit. Neglecting dhikr and salah or treating acts of worship mechanically. Backbiting, envy and malice toward others. Indulging in heedlessness, excessive sleep or worldly distractions that desynchronize the breath from spiritual awareness. Any form of hypocrisy, meaning riya, which blinds the heart from perceiving angelic descent and ascent. So, dear viewers, the 70,000 angels who traverse between the heavens and the earth are among the most profound manifestations of Allah's meticulous order in creation, carrying decrees, witnessing human deeds, and regulating the balance between the nafs, meaning ego, and ruh, meaning spirit. Their presence is an eternal reminder that no breath, no moment, and no intention escapes the divine awareness. Every inhalation and exhalation is observed, not as a mechanical act, but as a living testimony of the human heart's alignment with Allah's mercy and guidance. The angels' roles are multidimensional. They descend with mercy and illumination, protect the righteous, witness deeds, carry supplications, and ascend with reports to the throne, bridging the temporal world and the eternal decree of Allah. In the grave, these angels mediate between the soul and the unseen, reflecting the inner state cultivated through dhikr, ethical conduct, and moral vigilance. A purified, attentive heart transforms the grave into a place of light and peace. Neglect and heedlessness, however, render it a chamber of constriction, as the angels bear witness to the soul's unguarded state. In Barzakh, they continue this delicate balance, guiding the soul's journey, protecting it from unseen harms, and ensuring that the deeds of the earthly life resonate in the spiritual realms. On Qiyamah, their cosmic function reaches its zenith. They present the testimony of every breath, every act of remembrance, and every lapse, illuminating the path of judgment and mercy alike. Their descent and ascent then symbolize not only cosmic order, but also a mirror of human accountability, showing that the life of every individual is intimately intertwined with the unseen world. Sufi masters consistently emphasized that these angels are not mere passive witnesses. They are active participants in the cultivation of the human heart. Through breath-conscious dhikr, guided by a Kamil Murshid, humans can align with their descent and ascent, transforming ordinary life into a field of celestial witness. Every act of virtue, prayer, charity, patience, sincere remembrance becomes a spiritual channel, activating angelic presence and multiplying mercy. Conversely, neglect, arrogance, malice, and heedlessness obstruct these divine currents, dimming the soul's light and leaving it exposed to spiritual vulnerability. Rumi's allegories remind us that each human is a microcosm within the cosmic ocean, where angels move like tides. The heart that does not move with them drifts into darkness. Protection and awareness, therefore, are not merely defensive, they are creative acts of participation in Allah's cosmic order. Through ethical conduct, constant dhikr, moral vigilance, and murshid guidance, humans can synchronize their inner world with these angels, allowing every breath to serve as a testimony of divine remembrance. Quranic surahs such as Al-Mulk, Al-Insan, Al-Falaq, and An-Nas, combined with sincere supplications, cultivate this alignment. Actions to avoid arrogance, backbiting, hypocrisy, heedlessness are equally crucial, for they act as barriers to angelic accompaniment. Ultimately, the 70,000 angels teach a universal lesson. Spiritual life is continuous vigilance and conscious participation in divine order. They embody the principle that the unseen is never absent, that every moment carries testimony, and that true human mastery lies not in physical power, but in the cultivation of heart, breath, and soul in harmony with divine will. The aspirant who follows this path, under the guidance of a murshid, protected by dhikr, illuminated by the Quran, and mindful of ethical conduct, becomes a partner in this celestial system, a being whose very existence resonates with mercy, light, and alignment with the eternal currents of creation. In this final vision, the angels of descent and ascent are not only witnesses and carriers of divine decree, they are mirrors reflecting the human soul's potential for illumination or neglect, guides showing the way toward eternal mercy, and teachers revealing the intimate connection between the breath, the heart, and the cosmos. Their ceaseless movement reminds us that life itself is a journey of alignment, a continuous opportunity to harmonize with the divine, and through this harmony, to transcend the ordinary, embrace mercy, and secure a place in the enduring illumination of the hereafter. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoy this content and find it beneficial, we kindly ask you to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more authentic, faith-strengthening content. And let's continue this journey of knowledge together. Inshallah, see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.